Welcome, everybody. Bob, Buzz, and myself are here. We just wanted to run our Tuesday night racers. For those who have not done our winter TNR with us before, just make sure everybody's familiar with the race course that we'll be using. So if everybody has not already done so, I'd encourage you to check out the video that Buzz posted already, which is a great introduction to our winter TNRs and how the format's going to work this year. So once you've watched that video, to get into our TNR page, come to the Coast Outdoors website, coastoutdoors.ca. Scroll down the page here, and there is a section XC TNR Virtual 2021 season. So go ahead and click on that link there. And that's going to drop you into our TNR page. So this is the first video I was talking about. So do please watch that. There's a lot of really good information in there about how to record your times, etc.
I haven't watched the video, but is there? I know a lot of people seem to be having a problem with the times, like entering the time so that they show up 0:12.
Oh, gotcha.
12:.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good feedback.
But yeah.
What is the preferred format for that, Buzz?
Yeah, so currently it's set as hours, minutes, seconds, and it's 2 digits per column. So zero, like, if you're doing it in 40 minutes and 40 seconds, 004040 would be how you would do that.
With a colon separating those, right?
Yeah, well, you don't really need to put the colon in. You can just type those numbers, and then it'll just presume that you have 2-hour digits, 2-minute digits, 2-second digits. That's how that one's set up. And then so sometimes you may need to, like you can type too many numbers and just type it out again. And like I said, you'll see 2 digits, colon, 2 digits, colon, 2 digits, hours, minutes, seconds.
Awesome. So getting into the standard TNR course, this race starts and finishes at the flat in front of Hollyburn Lodge, which is here, and the course progresses in a counterclockwise direction. From the lodge, you're going to head down Sitzmark, heading this direction. If you have skied a lot at Hollyburn, you know these trails really, really well. It's just the order of them. But if you haven't skied up there a lot, first thing you're going to do is pass over a bit of a snow bridge with First Lake on your left, and you're just going to stay on Sitzmark. If you're skiing this at night, it won't even be an option to go right on Wells Grade, but you do want to pass the intersection with Wells Grade, and you definitely don't want to turn left there. You're going to proceed along Sitzmark up this way.
This is kind of a nice section here for one skating a little slightly uphill, right? It's not too bad.
You get some uphill sort of. It's almost a little bit rolly, generally climbing, but some nice flats to do drop into a one skate. Right about here, you're going to come up to a little bit of a high point, and then you're going to have a dip into a hard left-hand hairpin climb. So you got to drop into if you've got a strong left-hand offset, definitely get in on that. I don't have a strong left-hand offset.
I also see a lot of people here trying to cut the corner, and so it's kind of dangerous because sometimes if you happen to have me going the other way, I come around quite fast, and if you're on the inside, could be a little tricky for you. So stay to the outside while you're going around that corner.
Exactly. Stay to the outside. Now you can get a little bit jammed up in here if there's some slower recreational skiers. So if you do need to put a pass in, make sure you're still staying as right as you can. And you definitely don't want to get into the downhill line gets pretty obvious because it gets scrubbed a little clean there. So you definitely want to make sure that you're staying out of the downhill lane.
So Bram, a newbie question here. Can you cut right? Are there trails there that I see that you can potentially cut right and go the wrong way? Or
right before you get into the left-hand uphill, there is an option to trend right. It's not a lit trail. So At night, it's not even an option really to go right, but during the day, you definitely want to make sure you're coming up the corner.
So that's the high point of the course, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's all downhill from there. Wow. Except
Until you have to go uphill again. It's downhill for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we come into a fun, sort of a two-stage downhill section through here. So same deal, just like we wanted you to stay right through the uphill corner on Sitzmark. Same deal, stay in your lane, because you can sometime encounter uphill skiers who are coming up like 2 skiers wide. So you definitely want to make sure you're holding your line on these downhill sections, because you don't want to hook up on an uphill skier. It would be poor. Coming down through Sitzmark, there's a bit of a tree island in this zone here you're going to stay to the right of. Now, this is the first navigational challenge for people who haven't done the course here, but we want to stay straight on Sitzmark through this section. So you've come down the hill, stay on Sitzmark. It flattens out here through this section, so you're into good one skate territory again. Now we come around the tree island. You want to be going around this island again in a counterclockwise direction, so stick to the right. This corner back up, there's a little bit of a compression at the bottom, so it's downhill into a hard uphill. So you definitely need to pick your line right at the bottom of this tree island. And I like to have that line prepared kind of, I'm sighting where I'm going to be going up here on sort of the higher apex of that coming around. So I like to carry my speed down through here and punch up this short uphill sort of as hard as I can without, you don't want to be doing too much braking, because you really blow your exit speed coming out of this corner. So
if you do it right, you can glide up and over it pretty good if the conditions are hard and fast.
You definitely don't want to get pulled into there's a bit of a snowbank in here, which has caught me out before, and I'm sure has caught many people out. So you stay out of the snowbank on the outside if you can. The nice thing about this corner is, theoretically, this one's one way. Do pay attention just in case people are coming the wrong way around this. But you've got sort of the full width to work with. You do need to be careful of uphill skiers who might be coming up out of crossglades or up power line, and either looking to continue straight up power line or cut into the Sitzmark corner. So just pay attention to who's coming uphill on you here.
Yeah, and I've seen some other people, they go around here and then end up on crossglades.
Yeah,
so instead of coming back in on Sitzmark, right? So
yeah, you want to make the hard left, because the entrance to crossglades is really, really close. So if you blow this corner and accidentally end up on crossglades, then you've blown your whole lap, because you're now going the wrong way.
Yeah, you end up a really good time.
Yeah. So back up onto this section of, lower Sitzmark, call it. And then your next move is you're going to take a right on Telemark. So we came straight through this intersection, the first direction. Now we're going to take a right at this. In the day, it's a 4-way intersection. At night, it's a T intersection, because you can't see that upper section of Telemark. But you're going to make this right. There's sort of a fun little down and up here. So I like to carry my speed through that dip as much as I can, and then kind of up and over the top.
This is all my favorite part of the course.
And then you're making a fun sort of inside right-hand turn onto crossglades. And if you plan it right, you can sometimes, if you carry your speed down this dip, you can usually make a pass on the uphill section if you can carry some speed through here. And there's a right onto crossglades, and then there's another quick right-hand corner once you're in the trail proper, and that's another trail or another corner, pardon me, where you need to make sure you're really staying inside, because you can have some opposing traffic, and if people aren't expecting you and they're sort of in the middle of the trail, again, there's potential for some conflict there. So just make sure you're staying tight to that inside of the corner. Same deal with the Sitzmark corner. I like to kind of maintain my exit speed out of this corner if I can, and not do too much braking, and really sort of pay attention to what my line is to the corner, so that I don't have to scrub too much speed.
Yeah, you can carry a lot of speed all through this whole area here.
And just like that section of Sitzmark, you've got some nice one skating space through this section of crossglades. Back out to crossglades, we're going to hit power line again. and you're going to take a left, and you've got a short section where you're actually running down power line here. Right at the inside of this left-hand corner, you got to be careful sometimes because there can be a bit of a lip on the inside of that corner as they groom up power line, and then they groom crossways, or I don't know what direction they do it in, but right at the inside of that corner, there's a little bit of a lip or a ledge sometimes onto power line. So if you're taking the aggressive inside line, just be ready for some compression coming through there. And then this downhill left into Sidewinder, again, is a really fun spot where you can, the section of Sidewinder is quite wide. So you can really, I like to come up quite wide through here and really carry my speed through this section of the course because it's quite downhill and then it flattens out. So you can carry that speed pretty far down Sidewinder and get some good one skates area in there. And then it gets a little twisty turny through this section. So same deal, just as always, making sure you're mindful of other skiers through some of the corners that don't have as great visibility on them.
Careful of this here because people sometimes turn here. This is the lit trail.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it has a name, but yeah, just bomb by that.
The section that goes down to ski school flats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so make sure that you're not, it's easy to get pulled into a right and down here, which would take you into the course. So through this section, you just need to make sure that you're trending left and not getting pulled down this right-hand corner. But
that's an easy thing to do then, is it, Bram?
Yeah, it could be.
It's doable.
Fully. And then carry your speed down through this section, and there's a bit of a sweeping corner onto Telemark. A bit of a drop here, so this is another really fast section. Flattens out again, and then you're going to make a right-hand turn onto Hollyburn Trail, and we're going to ski that all the way down to the tree island at the bottom. Same deal, making sure that you're staying right at this tree island. This is another section where you've really got to be aware because the people who are brand new to cross-country skiing, this is the very first climb of the trail, and they might be having a little bit of trouble here. So making sure that you're aware of who's on the other side of this tree island as you come zipping around here. So making sure that you're giving space to more recreational or less confident skiers coming through here. All that fun descending you did down Hollyburn, now you've got to undo all that as we work back up, and it's sort of a staged climb. Now, this is a section where Bob always drops me going downhill because he has a size advantage. So this is where I've got a few minutes to try to reel him back in, but I know I can out climb him because I just wait for the wheels to start falling off and the steam coming out of his ears. And this is where I can start to get him back in the last part of the race.
Right. Many other people too, but not this year.
So for anybody who has learned to cross country ski at Cypress, this first hill here, that's kind of your nemesis for your first few ski sessions, and even skiing up that hill without stopping is a minor accomplishment in itself. So now you've got to really put the burn on coming up here, back up where we're going to pass Sidewinder, so we're not going to pass Telemark, so we're not going to make that turn this time. We're going to proceed straight, and that will put us back to the lodge, which that's the completion of one lap. And if we're just doing one lap, that would be it. Now, I would encourage you to keep skiing past the lodge a little bit before sort of letting off, just to make sure that your Strava segment actually records the entire segment. If you start sort of at this corner of the lodge and you stop skiing over here, you might not pick up the entire segment. So I like to sort of start a little bit behind on this side of the lodge and make sure I'm finishing over here, just so you do the full loop. And then we would keep doing that on a second lap if we're doing the long course. Now, if you haven't done the race before, it's probably worth pre-skiing the course, call it your warm-up, just so you familiarize yourself with the landmarks, so you're not trying to navigate while you're skiing fast and hypoxic. So just ski one at a nice slow pace just to get your legs under you, make sure you know where you're going, and then record your segment as a second lap for the first time or two, probably.
Sweet. Yeah, and so that's how it's put together. I recommend you go to the Coast Outdoors homepage, scroll down, go into this piece here. This instructional video will give you the technical details, and you'll find your spreadsheets to record your results here. Here's the map, and then obviously this video explains how to do it. So if you know anyone that maybe could benefit from this video and have this map explained, share it, maybe tag them and let them know about it.
Ah, awesome.
Sweet.
Have
Thank
fun,
you.
everybody.
Looking forward to seeing you guys out there.
Yep.
Enjoy the racing.